Let me show you something really simple, cool, and powerful. Let's say you need to charge your mobile device. Android, Apple, it doesn't matter. And there's no electrical outlet anywhere in sight. Maybe you're in the airport or camping out in the middle of nowhere. Camping in the middle of nowhere, you say? With a dead cell phone? All I need is a Patriot power bank, a charging cord, and the sun. So I'll throw my power bank in the sun, wait till it gets a full charge, plug that baby in, and reap the benefits of solar technology. So if you want a ready and reliable source of power anytime, anywhere, then you want the Patriot Power Bank. Oh, by the way, it's got a really cool flashlight too. My discount code is in the link in the description. Grab a couple of them.
Masks until further notice.
Masks are going to be a critical strategy going forward.
He doesn't want to wear a mask. He refuses to wear a mask because it conflicts with his narrative, which is we're moving back to normal. Not to a new normal, we're not going to try and recover. We're going back to normal. And if he's seen wearing a mask, that's not normal.
Please, everybody wear a mask.
The problem with that is that every time he refuses to wear a mask in public, more and more people refuse to wear a mask in public. And then the virus spikes, and then people die. So I really believe that the president's refusal to wear a mask in public has cost many lives. I think he's responsible for deaths when he doesn't wear a mask.
We should all act as if we know we have it every day and let that inform our associations with people on the outside.
Please, everybody wear a mask.
As we watch the psychological operation manifesting itself as a masked Joe and Jill Biden, we got to remember, political propaganda doesn't just deceive people, it aids them in deceiving themselves. Powerful as heroin, it capitalizes on the inherent fears and surreptitiously dissolves all capacity to think. It's a monologue that's not looking for an answer, it's looking to manufacture a consensual echo. And this political propaganda is crafted by spiritually dark individuals with sinister intelligence. Everything you see on mainstream media, left or right, CNN or Fox News, is designed to rewire your mind and warp your perceptions. It attempts to paint our worldview and program the thoughts that drive our emotions and actions. It's hardly too strong to say that corporate media is predicated on the ominous plans of social engineers who work for powerful people. And these powerful people are not content with their billions or trillions of dollars. They're not content with mere wealth. They want control. And the more power and control they get, the more they want. He who has power rarely has power enough. And there's always going to be that craving for more. Like a junkie who can't wait for their drug of choice to find its way back into their bloodstream. These are psychopathic power junkies who are so bored, so brazen, so ambitious that they'll have their social engineers dangle their plans in our faces through predictive programming. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's not a cliche, it's a truism. The irony is that the powerful become the very pawns of the power they think they wield as it continues to consume them. It's a sickness that transforms a human being into an unfeeling monster. Woodrow Wilson encountered these sick, power-hungry people when he became their puppet president in 1913. He wrote in his book, The New Freedom, "Since I entered politics, I have chiefly had men's views confided to me privately. Some of the biggest men in the United States in the field of commerce and manufacture are afraid of something. They know that there is a power somewhere so organized, so subtle, so watchful, so interlocked, so complete, so pervasive, that they better not speak above their breath when they speak in condemnation of it." He said there is a power somewhere. Sounds like the President of the United States in 1913 wasn't even sure of the source of the power that had him dangling on a string. That was Woodrow Wilson's reality 107 years ago, and it's every president's reality now. There is and has been for some time a resident power lurking in the shadows with a voracious hunger for power and a deep thirst for control. And isn't it interesting that rather than expose these powerful, life-consuming controllers, rather than speaking truth to power like they say they do, mainstream media hides these psychopaths, even mocks their existence, pushes their agenda, and exports their fear. They have the minds of their audience busy in a mental feedback loop that has taken advantage of the tribal instinct within the minds of every member of society. Philanthropic endeavors are exalted, and control-freak philanthropists are thrust into the limelight and presented as the saviors of the world. But propaganda is the shield behind which they hide. Propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels wrote, "The most brilliant propagandist technique will yield no success unless one fundamental principle is borne in mind constantly. It must confine itself to a few points and be repeated over and over." And that's what we're seeing with these mainstream media and political calls to be good little boys and good little girls and comply with World Health experts who tell us incessantly to abide by social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing, sheltering in place, and spraying everything with disinfectant. And these are all practices, of course, that will all but assure us that our immune systems will be compromised, making those who heed the Hegelian cries of the experts that much more susceptible to the weakest disease. Problem, reaction, solution is their game, and they've been playing it and perfecting it for centuries. History has proven that where you have a consolidation of power in the hands of a few, the most vile band of murderers, thieves, and suit-wearing gangsters gravitate toward those levers of unbridled control as they don the deceptive cloak of kindness and morality. The best defense against this onslaught of propaganda is knowledge and virtue. 2 centuries ago, the founders knew this to be the safeguard. No people will tamely surrender their liberties, they said, nor can any be easily subdued when knowledge is diffused and virtue is preserved. On the contrary, when people are universally ignorant and debauched in their manners, they will sink under their own weight without the aid of foreign invaders. They also knew that a general dissolution of principles and manners will more surely overthrow the liberties of America than the whole force of the common enemy. While the people are virtuous, they wrote, they cannot be subdued. But when once they lose their virtue, they will be ready to surrender their liberties to the first external or internal invader. And what do they say is roaming the streets right now? An internal invader. And you better wear your expert-approved mask if you want to keep that invader out. Do not give up your liberties for anything or anybody, no matter how urgent the situation might appear. To give in to propaganda and to give up your liberties is to cost the lives of more people than any disease or natural disaster combined could possibly sweep away. And those who would give up a little essential liberty for politically promised security, which will never come, deserves neither liberty nor security.
We should all act as if we know we have it every day and let that inform our associations with people on the outside.
Please, everybody wear a mask.
Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support more content like this, grab one of these hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirts from the store. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.
Deaf and dumb thespians take the silent stages. With their cobweb throats, they can't sing any notes, so the audience begins dispersing. The actors get pissed, they start cursing. They're tired of rehearsing. They're ready to do the damn show. They're ready to go. You know what I mean? Fuck the quarantine, fuck COVID-19, fuck a fucking vaccine. Social engineering at the center stage. About to go full circle when we turn the page. Miss Deborah Burks, you old bitch, putting COVIDs on obits and certificates, it's ridiculous. We should be enraged and irate at our newfound fate and change the current state of mind controls. As Mr. Gates pulls the levers of power from his ivory tower, he is a Zionist, a mad scientist. With unlimited funds, we need to run or we need to get some more guns. And we need to do that shit while it's possible. Cause pretty soon, I swear, it's not gonna be optional. Are you hearing me? The wealthy be stealthy, ushering in this tyranny. I don't want a mask, give me an Uzi. I want my